Hello, everybody, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is the Survivor After Show panel. We are so excited that you came for the show tonight. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, everybody, and happy Wednesday. White Rice Wednesday.
White Rice
for
Wednesday.
Survivor. We're here. We have some weird panelists in the room tonight. Dom and Timothy are being extremely crazy. So I think you're in for a treat tonight.
Yep.
But thank you so much for joining us. We love having you guys here for AFTERBUZZ. This is Survivor, The Path Will You Live, Episode 5. I'm your host, Paige Bonanno. You guys can find me on all social media at Paige Bonanno. And where can they find you?
What's up, everybody? It's crazy number one, Timothy Michael. You can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike.
Hey guys, Domonique Price here. You guys can find me on all social media platforms at DominiqueP_ESQ.
It's like thing one and thing two over here.
Crazy one and crazy two over here.
I am just lost. I'm like, what has happened in my absence?
Now the viewers are going to be like, what's going on? Because
Right,
they're acting
me
totally
too.
normal. But I'm like, they were not acting normal just before this. Thank you guys once again for joining us for AFTERBUZZ TV for Survivor. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and thumbs up. And for everybody joining us in the live chat, we're super excited to have you guys. We love hearing your comments and commentary throughout the whole show.
Yep.
So anyways, episode 5, The Past Will Eat You Alive. That was one of my favorite quotes this episode. They said, "The past will eat you alive, but the future will set you free."
Who said
True.
this?
Ben said this.
Ben said it.
Ben is smart.
We like Ben this episode.
We should start doing again when we did our favorite quotes for the episode.
Oh, I have mine.
Oh, what's yours?
Well, we can. I mean, do you
That
want
was
to
mine.
talk
Yeah,
about
you
it
can say
now? Mine was when Allie said you can't really earn trust until you're at tribal.
Yeah, that was a great
That was
point.
good.
Yeah.
I had to give her all the snaps.
Oh, the snaps.
Yeah.
Because she clearly can't trust anybody. But we'll get into that later.
We'll
Yep.
get into that. So, I guess overall thoughts on the episode today. What was like your favorite part of it?
Definitely.
Or your favorite
Ryan's
any player?
lack of putting the ball where it needed to
Oh
go.
my god,
I just sat there and was just like,
it was shameful.
That was
I
your favorite part.
felt like the first time it rolled behind him, I think I seen the look on everyone's face like,
Yeah.
we're done.
That was the first time.
Should we
Let's not
take
talk
these
about the
weights
second and
off?
third.
Nope. Should we take the weights off now? Should we give it some time? Because clearly he's not going to make it.
I think my favorite part of the episode was Desi going so hard in the sand with that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen this challenge before.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've
Hate it
ever
every
seen
time.
somebody go that fast. Like Desi went hard.
Yeah, she killed it. We'll definitely get into the challenge later because there was a ton of stuff going on. But let's just dive right in from the beginning. Just to touch really quickly on last week, obviously Alan went home in kind of a crazy outcome because, Joe played his idol. And I thought it was interesting how, like, we kind of saw a little bit from Joe saying, I played that whole thing up. Like, that was strategic. And I don't know, maybe I was just super in the moment as I was watching it, but I wasn't really thinking of Joe doing this as a strategic play. Like, I just really thought that that's how he was feeling. But he's like, I was throwing my arms up, I was putting my head down. Like, I did this all on purpose.
Yeah, which is exactly why Ashley was like, "You're crazy, but you're also kind of smart." Because
Right.
I was in the same boat as you, Paige. I was like, "Oh, he's not that smart. He's just crazy," and it was just all an act.
I was still thinking he might have been playing the immunity idol for Desi, like he was going to.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm glad he played it for himself. But he also said that he read Ashley's face, and she didn't even know what that really meant when they went back to tribal. Do you guys see anything on Ashley's
Well,
face?
she kind of had that very much like deer in headlights as soon as she realized what was happening and not in his favor. And so I think
Yeah.
that's why he also made the comment right before. Right after he played it, and so I think he kind of noticed like, okay, she's not going to be somebody who's on my side.
Yeah,
ever.
and they also adjusted when they got back to camp, and she
Yeah.
said, "I knew as soon as my jaw dropped that I gave
Yep.
it away." Like she
Yep.
admitted it.
Uh-huh.
So
But yeah, I don't know. Like Joe, when was there ever a time where he wasn't going to play his immunity idol for himself? I mean, like, I know that he was talking about playing it for Desi, but like,
I honestly think that he was going to play for Desi until Ashley gave it away.
But he was saying, oh, this was all an act and everything. But he seemed pretty freaking real and excited, like, once those votes came in for him.
So you're thinking that he was, like, saying, like, looking like he was defeated, so the votes would go for him.
Yes.
That's
so
why
then he
knew
plays Idol. Yes.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't going to play it for Desi ever. I don't know.
The type of person he comes across, I don't ever see him being a selfless person and that would ever play an idol for someone else. It's just not the vibe I get.
I agree. That's why when he said he would,
He's no
I was
David.
surprised.
It would be.
He is no
Oh my God. Or Ty. It would be very hard for me to play my idol for somebody else.
Yes.
That's your freaking idol.
Do you know what I've noticed a lot these last couple of episodes is that a lot of people are finding idols with other people.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it once we get to.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring that up, so maybe
Definitely.
it'll be a point of talking.
Yeah. Let's talk about that as we go forward. Were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I just was gonna say I loved how they kind of showed us what the dynamics were as soon as they got back to the tribal, but we get into the next day, and I was really it was interesting to see Ben's reaction to what was going on at camp today. And I think a lot of times in just like everyday life, we don't really consider how our veterans kind of fold back into everyday life and how little things can trigger them. And so something as so you think insignificant as, you know, the bamboo popping in the fire completely set him off.
Yeah.
But I was really proud, I want to say, of the rest of his tribe mates for not taking his attitude personal because he was kind of short. He was like, no, I don't want to be bothered. I'm good, which would have offended a lot of other people, but they were all very respectful that he just needed a little bit of time to himself. And I thought it was a really good learning and educational moment, not for just those that are, you know, currently playing the game with him, but for us as us sitting at home, you know, like there could be little things that maybe we can do to kind of tweak how we interact with veterans, like maybe not talking so super loud or not, you know, being quick with hand movements. You know, there's so many things that can set them off. A lot of you guys know that I was on a show last year on Fox, and one of my castmates had extreme PTSD and none of us knew how to handle it. And I think because we were probably drunk the entire time. Luckily Survivor, they don't have alcohol, so I don't think we handled it well. So I was really excited to see how his tribe mates actually handled it.
Not only am I proud of the tribe, but I'm also proud of Survivor and CBS as a network to shed light on something that is so, I don't want to say the word taboo, but it's not really mentioned, and it's sad because there are many, you know, soldiers and people who go overseas and come back who serve in our military who suffer from PTSD, and we forget because it's not something that is A, talked about, and B, shown on the outside. It's something that they harbor on the inside, and you can't tell if somebody is suffering from PTSD unless something
That's a good point. You see veterans that come back who are disabled and you can see the scars, but PTSD is an inner scar that they'll live with for the rest of their life. I thought it was interesting because Ben even shed a little bit of light. He was like, it could be anything that sets me off. He's like, luckily my children have really grounded me so that I haven't gone crazy.
No, I mean, I think both of you make like incredible points about this. It is hard, I feel like, for, you know, the general public. Like, we just don't think about this, first of all, and we just don't also we don't comprehend it. You know, like, even though Ben's tribe mates may have known, okay, yeah, he's suffering from PTSD, they still don't know how he's actually feeling, you know. And to your point, Domonique, I like how they did let him, you know, kind of go off on his own and do his own thing. Lauren went up to him just to check on him, but then, you know, they let him kind of work it out on his own. And he handled it very well too. He knew that he had to get out of the situation, and he did. And I just, like you said, it's good that we finally got a light shed on this that we normally don't get.
I think that's the biggest thing with PTSD like this is that, or PTSD in general, is that we as civilians, like Ben said, we don't understand. You have to live through it to understand it. And it's hard for him to talk about with his tribe mates, for example, because no matter how much he talked about it, no matter how much he tried to make them understand, they still wouldn't because they've never lived
that
it.
Bamboo wouldn't have made anybody else feel like that at the tribe.
Which is funny because I'm glad that you brought up the bamboo, the both of you, because at first I was like, maybe it popped and hit him.
Yeah,
and that's why I thought
so
that he
too.
got burned at first. I didn't know what was going on until I remembered that he was a Marine, and I was like, oh, and now I know what's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Really quick, I just want to shout out if anybody who is viewing or anybody who is viewing that knows somebody who is suffering from PTSD, you can visit ptsd.va.gov for support groups and stuff like that. If you want to talk to somebody who's been through it, that's a good place to start.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. I also did really like how we kind of saw, we obviously saw the whole situation with Ben, but then he also just opened up to us, in his little confessional about his wife and about just like him in general. We didn't see that much about Ben before this episode, and now I feel like we really got into Ben's head and like into his heart, and we kind of know who he is now more as a player and as a person, and I really like him.
Now I'm like totally rooting for him, and not only just because of what he's gone through, but that because he's like a total badass in these challenges. We jumped straight in from what happened with the bamboo over into the reward challenge, and he's killed it. And then a little bit later, we go into the immunity challenge, and he's pretty much riding for his entire team. Never once, does he make anyone feel bad for the fact that he's pretty much carrying his entire team in both challenges. He's super humble about it, and I think that just goes to show his character. So, whether or not, will he win Survivor, I'm rooting for him in life, because I think it takes a lot of courage to put yourself in such a vulnerable position in doing the show. Period.
And he said too, I want to do this not just for myself and my family. Of course, I want to win $1 million, but I want to do this for all the vets to show them that there is life after this, after being in the Marines, and after the struggles and the horrors that you go through. Like, there is a way to get back from that. And
I think it's fair that not to be political or politicize the show in any way, but I don't think that we take care of our vets as much as we can. So for him to take it upon himself to say, you know what, I want to shed light on vets. I commend him for that. I really like that we got a little of Ben's backstory, because it does, like you guys, make me like him more. And I'm jealous that he's on Mike's fantasy team.
I know.
Because now I wish I'd picked him.
Well, Mike's fantasy team isn't looking that great aside from Ben. So he's got one. Your fantasy team, on the other hand, I don't know what I was doing going first, because I totally messed mine up. But anyways, so moving into the reward challenge, the kind of highlight, as you would say, of the show tonight. Weird reward challenge. People are slithering through the sand, just super awkward. I mean, the only word that I can use to describe it is awkward.
There's no way I would do it. I'm telling you now.
You would have been shooting the baskets, or you'd been like, I'm sitting out.
I'm like, okay, who's gonna sit over here with me? Because
I could never shoot the baskets, so I'd definitely be slithering through the sand, looking like an idiot.
I think that I would want to slither through the sand just because it looks like
I don't
fun.
like sand.
I'm not like the first person that's gonna be sitting here going, Leah, put me in the sand, but I don't hate it.
Right. But I don't know.
I don't even like it on my feet.
So
wow.
It's weird. It's
the sand?
Yeah.
Guess what we're taking you for your birthday?
Yeah.
To the beach.
We see that they're playing for iced coffee and pastries, okay?
Again, a reward challenge that you're not putting me in sand face first in.
Is it worth it?
No.
Now, if you would have said there's going to be steak and lobster, I'm going to take you on a helicopter around the island, I may slither a little bit. But for some stale croissants and some coffee that we know ain't chilled, no.
It was chilled. It was on ice. But they were also playing for iced tea, which was the only appealing thing in this reward challenge.
You literally thought that they had like hot coffee on the sand.
No,
you're like, this is dehydrating.
No, it is. No,
coffee in general, no matter
dehydrating, first of all. But I'm just saying, I don't want iced coffee.
Yeah.
And I don't. Those pastries didn't look appetizing.
Yeah, it'd be such a bummer if like you won this one and then the next one they're like, we're taking you around the island with lobster and steak, whatever.
Then I'm into
like,
it.
oh.
You know what I could have been down for? Like donuts and like iced chocolate milk or something.
That's like the same thing as they gave them.
No.
Pastries and iced coffee versus donuts and milk chocolate. It's basically the same.
I don't think so, Paige.
It is to me.
It's two different things.
I'd be happy
Paige.
to have coffee. I'd be perky on the beach.
I'd be happier
taking
with a
runs.
little tequila.
Yeah, true. Give me a drink.
Yeah.
So
or an Advil.
The second,
or an air mattress.
Oh my god. An air mat. What if they're like, everybody gets air mattresses tonight?
Oh, you remember the challenge where they got to go to like the little resort and they got a shower and they
I
got to sleep in a bed? I said, now that
and
I will
food.
slither in the sand for.
Oh, and food. They got food, alcohol, beds, showers, everything. That's a good one.
That's the good challenge. And that will come up. I think that usually happens when the merge happens. But
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that challenge because that's always my favorite.
We see that Lauren and Christy are the ones to sit. But I did want to bring up, people might not have noticed it, but I definitely noticed like when Lauren was volunteering to sit out, Ben was kind of like, he was like going like this, like basically he didn't want her to sit out. It seemed like he wanted to sit out. Did you guys notice that?
No.
It like, he was kind of going like, what's going on? You know, like
Well,
he wanted.
I think I took his like kind of motion not to mean that he wanted to sit out, but that he was getting frustrated that they weren't coming to a consensus.
That's what I thought.
It almost was like everybody wanted to sit out. And he's
Okay.
like, yo,
You guys,
like,
we have
I'm
to
already
play.
going to win this
Right,
by
right,
myself,
right.
but come on.
Totally. So right off the bat, Desi is killing it. She literally just stuck face first, like just going for it. Gets a huge lead for her team for Levu. And basically we see that, you know, Dr. Mike is struggling a little bit.
Oh, Dr. Mike.
He didn't struggle as much as Ryan.
That's what I was
did.
gonna say.
Mike,
And then
Dr.
we get to Ryan.
Him in a suit.
Poor Ryan. I actually started crying because I felt really bad for him because he's working so hard and it's literally, he's already in second place for sure, regardless. Definitely not first because they had already won.
Yeah.
And it was literally for a 1 jug of iced coffee. I understand that the reward is more than just a reward. It's about like the team bonding and, you know, it's about lifting your spirits and yada, yada. Great. But Ryan, I just felt so bad for him. He pushed the ball up so many times and then just kept falling back down. And he literally couldn't move his body at the end.
Pause. Did not feel bad for Ryan because his entire system for getting the ball anywhere was extremely flawed.
Yes.
And it's just kind of like you had an opportunity to watch other people before it was your turn. Were you not paying any type of attention? Were you not noticing, okay, Desi just killed it super fast. Maybe I should do exactly what she did.
But I will say Desi was on flat ground while he was going up and down mountains.
Granted,
Thank
he
you.
had a little bit more of a
challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
But my dude, like you were literally trying to hit it with your freaking shoulder. like did you think that was gonna cause it to go in any direction that you needed to go?
Well, I feel like him putting it here and then slithering with it up was better than him putting it on the top of his head where it was like.
Look at how big your shoulder area is.
Well, don't look at mine. Mine are very dainty.
But here's the thing, and his are too. So you mean to tell me that you were gonna slither this up just like this, and this ball is like
He wanted to shimmy a little bit.
You wanted it to slide off.
His shoulders are daintier than yours, for sure. Oh my gosh. But
I was so angry.
I do have to give him credit because he never gave up.
Yes.
And that is saying that
he
is
didn't
to
give
say
up
something about
because
his
he
person.
knows if he would have given up, he would have went home.
I don't think so. It
'Cause
was a
that's rude.
reward challenge.
No, it doesn't matter.
It was a reward
It
challenge.
is,
I
though.
wouldn't
You know
send
why it
anybody home for
matters?
losing a
Because the
reward
person
challenge.
that went before you worked their tail off to get it to you, and that was work in vain.
I think that you should never, ever, ever give up, especially in this game. And Ryan didn't give up.
I agree.
And I also commend his teammates because they literally were screaming him on the entire time. You know, Ryan, you can do it.
James said Ryan is a bum, and I couldn't agree more.
No.
I like Ryan.
Ryan tried. It's
You
not
know
like.
what? I'm gonna just go back to what he said at what he said at Tribal, or what he said in his confessional was that everybody
Say it,
has a bad
say it,
day.
say it.
Okay.
Everybody has a bad day.
No, you know what else he said?
We
What
got to
else
talk
did he
one at
say?
a time. One at a time. Yes, Dominique, go ahead.
Ryan also said the best thing about him was his social game, and we seen him completely blow that up tonight. So now I'm asking you, Ryan is a bum. Tell me what his strong suit is. I'll wait.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about it once we get to Tribal.
I'll wait.
Because I disagree that he blew up his social game in any kind of way. I don't think he did anything detrimental to his social game at all. This episode.
His number. Let's think about it like this. They're not going to get a shakeup for, I would say, another week. So next week he's stuck with the same tribe that he has. JP's not on his team. Like, him and JP are not best BFFs. Let me finish. He may have Chrissy, but Chrissy's a flip-flopper. We know that for sure. She's going to say whatever. She's going to do whatever to get herself further in this game. She could care less about Ryan's
I
bum tail.
disagree with
Let
you.
me finish. The one person who really, really had his back, $100,000, even though we know he's not ish in a challenge, he just completely screwed over as an alliance.
Who?
Allie.
Allie. So right now, the only person that he has for sure right now is Chrissy, who we don't know going into next week is truly going to have his back. So you've just blown up your social game with the one person that would have like really rode for you. Because let's take it back for a second. When Roku, is that how you pronounce that girl's name?
So, Rourke?
Rourke.
Whoa,
Sorry,
back up.
guys. I was talking about Roku earlier at dinner, so it was on my brain. Spelling, phonetics. I'm dyslexic. Who knows? Okay, so when her and Allie were originally talking, you know, Ryan's performance came up in that conversation,
Right.
and Allie had his back. So you mean to tell me if Ryan's name comes up again, who's vouching for him now? Who's going to have his back?
Chrissy.
Do we think she's going to have his back?
Chrissy and Ryan have the
disagree.
connection after after Ryan gave her the advantage. They had the thing. I mean, she was loyal to him tonight.
I think loyalty and it being beneficial at the beginning are two different things. I don't know if they have a relationship where it's going to be, I got your back.
I don't know if Chrissy really has anybody's back.
That's what I was said. That's my point.
I like Chrissy.
I do too. Love her. She's on my team.
I saw a little different side of her tonight that now I just don't trust her.
That's my point. You can't trust the type of game that Chrissy's playing. I don't feel like can be trusted.
I disagree with you. I feel like Chrissy can at some point be trusted. I do think that her and Ryan have a very strong relationship after he did what he did for her, because she said that she, would always have his back. And I feel like Ryan didn't do anything to not get Allie back. Like, the only mistake that he made was to not fill Allie in on where the votes were going to go. So I feel like once he goes back and explains to Allie why he did what he did, he's going to be able to bring her back.
No, the reason why I don't think there's coming back from it? Because not only did he not let her in on a decision that he made with Chrissy, because she was so confident in what they had already discussed, she now looks bad in front of Chrissy and slightly potentially JP, because you know how Chrissy sold it. Chrissy sold it as if there was already a plan to have an all-girls alliance. We don't know what's in JP's mind now.
Chrissy told everybody different things. She went up to Rourke and said,
she's working it.
Let's do an all-girls alliance. Then she went up to JP and said, Rourke wants an all-girls alliance. Then she went up, different things to everybody.
But it's okay if other players do that, but it's not okay when Chrissy does that.
No. Here's the thing. Let's be all the way clear. Chrissy's playing a phenomenal game right now.
Yes.
I'm saying that as if we're just talking about Ryan right here, if the only thing you got going for you is your social game, I don't know this was the overall best move to make if that's all you're coming to the table with.
I think for you to say that Allie can't be brought back from what Ryan did is really a testament to how Allie is as a person, because then she needs to check her ego.
How?
Because if you're sitting here saying that Allie is just mad because she will look bad in front of JP and Chrissy, that's more of an ego check on her than on anybody else.
No, it's not, because it's double fold. It's like, not only am I pissed that we're supposed to be here, we're supposed to be making decisions together, although this is a one-on-one game, we've decided that we're going to go in this thing together, and I got your back. And then you make me look stupid.
You're saying, why didn't you just tell her?
That's all I'm saying. But we had several conversations about all you had to do was put me up on game.
And what would it have done if you would have told Allie?
But here's the thing. He said this in his one-on-one. He said, I now have to decide where my loyalty lies. Do I go with Chrissy or do I go with Allie? He made a decision to go with Chrissy.
So we're saying, why wouldn't he have just told Allie? But he had said specifically, he said Rourke and Chrissy won't work together.
Yes.
Where that came from, I don't know.
Because
I don't know
Allie
either.
had a conversation with Ryan, and she said that she wanted to get Chrissy out when they were walking around in the thing after the challenge. So I can understand why Ryan didn't go to Allie and say, hey,
but here's the thing. Did we also see him try? Because my thing is, I said I wanted to get Chrissy out, but maybe if I would have been presented with the entire facts of, hey, Chrissy's on my side, Chrissy's willing to work with us, I might be like, oh, okay, well, I might like her better than old girl, but old girl, Roku, has actually said that, I'm butchering her name, you guys, I'm sorry. Rourke has actually said, I want to work with you two, so that's why I'm bringing this opportunity to us, is all I'm saying.
Right.
Did he bring that opportunity to her for her to be like, I don't like her, I want to vote her out?
He shouldn't have to. You guys,
he should.
He shouldn't, because guess what? At the end of the day, it is an individual game. You have to look out for yourself. So at the same time, like, if Ryan doesn't feel like he can go to Allie because of what she has said about getting Chrissy out, and he likes Chrissy, then I can understand why Ryan wouldn't be so gung-ho on being like, Allie, I need to persuade you on getting Chrissy out, because then that could blow up in his face. And
then it could switch to him.
Yes.
They could work together. Yada, yada. It happens all the time.
All I'm saying, though, is you've now put the majority of your game, at least until we have another merge, in Chrissy's basket. Because Ryan is, JP, like James just said, is really gullible. He's going to do whatever Chrissy can kind of sell to him. So Ryan and JP don't really have a legit bond.
Do you think Chrissy should have went home tonight?
I I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that what happened wasn't a great move. I'm just saying that from Ryan's social game, if that's all the man got, I think it looked a little rocky. Y'all don't gotta agree.
All right, no. I feel like this is the best dialogue we've had on the show
all
so
I'm
far.
saying is that. All I'm saying is that he may need to re-strategize a little bit.
Okay.
And this next week will really show me if his social game is where he thinks it is.
Okay.
Ryan said that he had to do what was best for his social game, either going with one alliance or going with the other. So, I mean, why do you think then that going with Chrissy is better decision than going with Allie?
Because, like I said, like he already has this emotional connection with Chrissy because of what he did to save her with the
yeah,
little
so you're
thing.
saying it would have been better to go with Allie because
Right.
you're not going to ruin that relationship.
No. But at the same time, like I said, he didn't do anything to Allie. The only thing that he didn't do was not keep her in the loop. But he wasn't targeting her. He's not planning on targeting her in the future. He just kept her out based on something that she said. So I feel like he can go back to camp and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you.
This is what he did do to Allie. Let's put this back on the table.
Are you going to bring up the whole thing that she looks foolish in front of everybody else?
No, because no, it has nothing to do about that. Allie doesn't have a relationship with Chrissy. Allie doesn't have a strong relationship with JP. Her alliance so far have been Ryan and the girl.
Rourke.
Yes.
But that didn't start until today.
But here's listen to my thoughts. So
we haven't
all
even
I'm
seen Rourke until today.
Right, because I can't remember her name to save my life.
That's the first sentence I've gotten out in this freaking
what
thing.
he has done to her is now the three of them now look like they're voting together and Allie's over here by herself.
But if you know Survivor, you know that games change so fast.
Daily.
Right. So for Allie to even think that is naive on her part once again. And B,
tell me
for
you
her,
wouldn't think the exact same thing if you were Allie right now.
Yes, but at the same time, you can't sit here and also say that, oh, well, Rourke was working with Allie because Allie and Rourke never spoken until today's episode on day 13. Like, come on, they were never working together.
I'm not saying that they were, but what I'm saying is if we're looking at people who would potentially vote together, I'm like, she had a better chance over there than she does with these three amigos.
The only reason Allie wanted to bring Rourke in was to build her numbers up. To build Allie's numbers.
And now she has zero.
Why? Because it is an individual game, which is why Ryan did what he did.
I'm not. Here's the thing, you guys. It's just we can agree to disagree.
Of course.
All I'm saying is that I think that he's shot himself in the foot when it comes to Allie. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And I disagree.
Did I say that they were crazy today and on some shit? They are killing it right now. You guys, no, it's a great discussion.
It is.
Let us know what you guys think. Like
They would like for us to move on.
Yeah.
Yes, let's move on.
We will definitely move on. So let's. Oh, before we get into immunity, I wanted to get into the fact that Mike found an immunity idol
with Jessica,
and we wanted to have a little quick dialogue about that because you had said that this season obviously people are finding idols together. We saw it the first time with
Cole and Joe.
Now we saw it again. So the second time when they found it, basically they decided to look for it together because everybody knew where the idol was supposed to be, correct? Because of the first time, because Cole had told everybody.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you guys think it was a good idea for them to go together? Or if Mike had known where the immunity idol is, why didn't he just go by himself to look when nobody knew?
I feel like he's trying to build up trust with Jessica because especially after last episode, that whole thing with Jessica, Cole, and Mike, I feel like Jessica doesn't really trust Cole, so Mike is what do you call it? He's like grabbing onto that, and I feel like he wants Jessica to at least have something with him and share something with him, so that they can build more of a stronger alliance.
Yeah, and he said he was like, there's obviously danger in people knowing that you have the idol, but he feels like he can work with Jessica at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Jessica seems trustworthy so far, but I also like I thought Chrissy was trustworthy. She is, I guess, but I just personally don't trust her as a person. That's my personal thing. But it's not like she's done anything yet. I just don't know.
As soon as Mike found that idol, I was like, "Don't tell Cole."
Oh my god! Don't tell Cole. Oh,
don't tell Cole about the idol.
Oh my god!
And I'm even gonna be really upset if Jessica does tell Cole about the idol.
I feel like she will. I mean, like she can't even do anything without Cole. But she was also upset at him the last time for.
Right.
But I mean, it still seems like it's okay. I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
I don't like this whole tribe, so I'm just throw them all out.
Speaking of Cole, his nasty little food habits are kind of gross, and also the fact that they were putting those sound effects of him just like munching and like slopping in his mouth. I was like, that's a little too much. That's a little too much.
I think what I find entertaining about Survivor is that you are on a beach with about 4 or 5 people that you don't know, and it could be something as little as that could send you home.
Yeah.
People are like, you're just really annoying. I don't like how you sleep. I don't like how you eat. I don't
Right?
like how you look when you
Well,
eat.
I mean, they're definitely at that point of the turn where it was cute to be doing Survivor the first week. It was a little frustrating the second week, and now they're kind of looking at each other like, you were on my nerves.
They're
Yeah.
nitpicking.
Yeah.
Eric says that he doesn't think Jessica will tell Cole. And I don't know.
Good.
I think that maybe she will be a little more hesitant this time after the little mishap last time. I think if that hadn't happened, obviously she would go to him right away.
Yeah.
But we obviously see that we can't. I mean, I don't know if we can trust Cole or not.
We'll see.
But also, I'm just really happy that Mike found the immunity idol, and he said his kids will be so proud, and they've been watching Survivor together, obviously.
I
so-
still want to understand why he has on a suit.
literal suit jacket in the middle.
I just looked up. I was like, is that a suit?
You got to wear what you brought. I mean,
But it's like, you know that you're going to a tropical island. Like, I just hate the way they dress.
It's kind of just based on their profession.
Yes,
You got to kind of
thank you,
wear something
Paige.
to show that.
Yeah.
Moving into Immunity Idol, or Immunity Idol, we're talking about idols. Immunity Challenge. This was a fun one. They kind of, I thought it was a cool challenge. They would squeeze, the bags of rice through and then climb over this thing. I also was a little scared that someone was going to break their ankle, but
We
nobody
always
did.
are.
We always are. Quick question. We like to have this discussion,
Here we
shoes or no
go.
shoes. We saw that a lot of people had shoes, a lot of people didn't, and Chrissy actually went to go take off her shoes. So
Not that it helped her.
would you have
Right.
worn the shoes?
Exactly. Thank
It
you.
wasted time.
In this challenge, would you have worn the shoes or not? I personally would have worn the shoes when you're
Yeah.
climbing over, jumping down, and then balancing on a balance beam.
I would
Absolutely.
have worn shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The balance beam alone would have swayed my opinion on getting shoes.
Eric, I'll give you another shout out. He says no shoes. You guys all say shoes, right?
I said shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think shoes.
I mean, granted, shoes do weigh you down when they
But
get
when you're
wet, but at
climbing
the
over
same
those big
time,
things-
But it
would
wasn't even the
help your
climbing. It was, for me, it's all about balance.
Yes.
And I just felt like shoes would have given me a tiny bit more grip. I know
Yeah.
some people actually have the exact opposite argument when it comes to grip. They think that they can grip a little bit more with their toes, so
Yeah.
they prefer to be barefoot, which is why Paige and I were talking as we were watching this episode that it truly is a personal preference. Like,
course.
it was really kind of like a half. I've seen several people with shoes on, a lot of people that didn't have them on. But shout out to Ben once again, because he totally carried this team on his back, and they still weren't able to.
Also, another person carrying the freaking team is JP.
JP is awesome.
He literally, in the first in the reward challenge, we saw him literally carry
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yes.
And now he did
No,
everything.
he didn't carry Ryan.
He just
picked him up
He
and
threw Ryan. I was like, is he okay?
Damn, that
like,
man's
he
strong.
said boom,
Yeah,
and
he's
I was
strong.
like,
We
He's
see
strong.
that Mike sits out for Yawa and Ryan sits out for Soko, maybe because
Ryan needed to sit out. He was on timeout.
he had no other
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Legit timeout.
Yeah.
And we do see, that Soko ends up going to tribal anyways. Chrissy just couldn't really keep it together. She was, slow in the challenge.
She kept falling off the
Yeah,
balance
and
beam.
To Chrissy's point, Allie did try to kind of throw Chrissy under the bus, kind of like, well, she should have, and she didn't say she was just like, well, if I would have been in that situation, I would have asked someone else to take over because I clearly couldn't have gotten it and we wasted time. Chrissy did exactly just that.
Yeah.
When Chrissy was trying to decide if she was going to take off her shoes, she's like, is anybody else want to jump in here and try? And no one, but here's what I will say. The
Rourke.
girl,
Rourke.
she
girl.
definitely was like, I can step in, let me know.
But do it then. Just run up and go.
But I think her point was that the wall had a severe learning curve. So do you want to try it again, or do you want me to jump in and try and see if I can navigate?
It was more about
Either
balancing,
way, somebody else should have tried. She had tried 3 times
Yeah.
and it was a fail.
I disagree with you. I don't think that it had a severe learning curve. I mean, Ashley
Those
went
are
up there-
Jeff's words,
Ashley
and
went up
Jeff
there-
likes to let you know what
Well,
it is.
Jeff is not as
shady boots.
I mean, he is very shady.
Shady
but
boots.
Ashley went up there, Devin went up there, and Desi went up there. Thomas McGee says Desi is stepping up on the challenges too. He also says shoes for challenges. But I mean, it couldn't have been that much of a learning curve if Ashley could do it, Devin could do it, Desi could do it back to back, and then Ben could do it, Jessica could do it, and then Cole
Yeah.
could do it back to back. Chrissy was the only
We're
one.
actually talking about way more competent
that's a great
people.
point. But I
Let's
also
be real. Look at their entire team.
Yes. Go
whose
ahead.
team?
Ryan wouldn't have been able to do it.
Okay.
Chrissy was a fail.
Rourke.
Allie actually got the one that they did,
did
get
get the
in,
one.
which is why I kept asking, well, if she's already failed once, why didn't Allie go back and do it again?
JP could have tried, but JP also did the entire challenge on his own.
JP should have been able to
Literally.
just stand
Yeah.
there if he wanted to and just look
But
at
here's
them,
the thing,
'cause
why-
they was acting stupid.
I think, yeah, maybe somebody should have just, like Rourke, for example, how they were kind of going back and forth. Do you want to try it? I'll try it if you want me to. Do you want to come up? I'll do it if you want. Just don't go back and forth. Rourke, run up there, try it.
Yeah.
JP, someone run up there and try it. But Chrissy did. Like Allie said, oh, well, you should have just turned around and left it. What, is she just going to leave it on the ground?
Right.
She has to have somebody
Right.
come up and help her. She can't be
Right.
like, all right, you guys, like, nobody was saving her.
I thought that was a total cop-out. I think Allie was dead wrong for
Yeah.
even mentioning that, because anyone could have stepped up and tried. At the end of the day, it's all of their butts on the line, and it was just totally wrong.
I mean,
and on JP's point, I get that he done carried all these doggone bags, but if you see your team's winning, push someone aside and say, everybody need a little Michaela in them,
Yeah.
because she would have been like, move, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to bring it back to even last challenge or 2 challenges ago when they were having to throw the rings to get the raft, and Alan was doing it, or wait,
Yeah.
was it Alan? Or somebody else was doing it, and Lauren is on Lauren's team, Lauren was like, let me step up.
Oh, the
Patrick.
softball, yeah.
Patrick was doing it, and Lauren was like, no, let me step up. Let me step up. And Patrick wouldn't let her. I could understand if somebody in the back, if Allie was like, let me do it, and then Chrissy was like, no, then Allie could have brought that up. But since nobody was like, oh, I want to do it,
But
you
Chrissy
really don't have
said,
a right to do that.
does someone want to step in? And Rourke said, well, I can do it if you want. And then again, she was like, well, do you want to? Like,
Do you think?
just do it.
Do you think it was like a pride move on Chrissy's point, because she knew that she didn't like Rourke at all? So for Rourke to be like, oh, I can do it, and then Chrissy to be like, oh,
Because she
I
did-
don't really hear you,
Because she did. What I will say is when the girl did say that, Chrissy did just say, I got it. And that's when
Yeah.
she tried it one more time.
Just saying.
And they got it in. At the end of the day, by the time they started yelling back and forth as far as like, does somebody else want to try it? All of the other tribes were well into having 2 to 3 balls on the board.
Yeah.
So whether somebody would have jumped in to get a second one in there, they already had an extreme deficit of needing
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
So let's just be real. They were going to lose regardless,
Yeah.
because they could not pull their crap together
Yeah.
as a tribe.
Yeah.
Now that they've lost the girl, I don't know if this is going to make their tribe any stronger moving forward. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know. You guys might just continue to be back at tribal.
Yeah. I don't know. These
They
are all
can't
good points.
communicate well whatsoever. They lack a big deficit in the actual strength department.
They have JP, that's it.
JP is the
I just
one, yeah.
don't know what they can actually accomplish. I've been trying to think as we were sitting here, like, what challenge could they do?
Well, let's not forget, it's not all about strength. It is about puzzles, because we've seen.
I just said puzzles.
No,
They
but-
can't communicate.
But we've also seen like people who have less of a physical threat on their team and do well.
I need to see Ryan do something though.
I will say,
Me too.
I'm gonna stay on Ryan's head for some time. So.
Ryan may have made a couple mistakes, but the bum thing is a bit of a stretch. I don't know.
I won't call him a bum yet. That was a
Yeah.
little harsh.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
just call him.
Chrissy had also said that she
Something.
mentioned multiple times for other people to come back. That was once
No,
that we
she
saw.
mentioned
but
it once. Granted, there's editing. She may have been yelling for somebody
True.
to come get it for hours.
True.
Who knows?
So in Tribal, we see obviously a couple, conversations happening there. One that I thought was interesting was between Rourke and Chrissy. So we saw them obviously being like totally cool to each other's faces, and then once Tribal hit, the claws came out.
Yep.
Which
And-
is why I love the quote tonight. You don't know who to trust
Yeah.
until you get to Tribal.
Right. And so obviously Chrissy had went to Rourke earlier that day and said, hey, I want to work with you. She said, you're the most strategic player in this game, which I thought was timed very conveniently. I didn't like that she said that at all. I thought that it was totally out of place, and it was very fake, and you could just tell
Yep.
that she was kissing
Thank
her ass.
you. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Rourke said that. I mean, she knew. She said, oh, I don't trust her. And then Chrissy also said that she didn't trust anything Rourke was saying. So it was just a total back and forth.
A waste of a conversation.
Waste
if
of a
you will.
combo. And then we get to Tribal, and Rourke turns to her and said, I just find it very convenient that on the day you needed me is the day you called. So moving forward, I would really appreciate that we didn't do it this way. And I'm like,
loved
Damn,
it.
props to
Snap.
her.
Well, I guess at the same time, we don't have to worry about Rourke being around to get
Yeah,
that call anymore
to get
because
that
she got
right.
voted out.
Right.
What I will say is that, sorry to cut you off, is that Chrissy just fired it right back to her and was like, well, it's a two-way street. You could have came to me. That's like when you
But
when
she
you
was
call
like,
a
I
friend.
don't want to work with you.
Right,
Like, I didn't
right.
have, it wasn't on my heart to want to work with you because I thought I was cool with these other two individuals. I was wrong, but I thought I was good. But what I thought was interesting was it sounded like had the girl been a little bit more receptive to Chrissy, she would have taken the bait. But
about
she
the all
knew
girls-
immediately that she wasn't all the way into her idea, so she was like, okay, I'm gonna flip this and I'm gonna take it back to JP. But what was interesting to me was that JP seems to have some level of trust with her, but had the other girls been on top of her plan, she was willing to get out JP.
Chrissy.
Which is why I go back to my point of being like, this woman is going to flip on whomever that services her.
I don't know if she would have flipped on JP.
Were we not all watching the same thing?
I mean, tonight.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me if the girl would have been on top of this all-girl
No, she didn't
alliance?
trust Rourke. She did not trust
But
Rourke.
what I'm saying is she didn't trust her because she immediately knew, like, she was way too, like, okay. Like, she knew instantly,
okay.
like, okay, I can't trust her. Like, she's not really going to feed this, but I can flip the fact that I said it out loud to JP and tell JP, hey, we've talked about it and it was her idea. But what I'm saying is, I'm sorry.
Dumb.
It's a legit question.
But you're like what you're saying right now is like, but Chrissy or Rourke, whoever you're talking about, Chrissy wasn't talking about getting JP. Allie was talking about getting JP. Allie wanted to vote out Chrissy and then go after JP. Chrissy never said anything about going after JP.
No, let me back up because maybe somewhere in there it was missed. Chrissy
We do have to wrap up soon.
Chrissy said that she wanted to have an all-girl alliance. There's no way that Allie would have ever have voted out Ryan. So the only other option would have been to vote out JP.
Nobody's voting out
anybody-
JP this week. No freaking way.
I agree 1,000%.
Chrissy
But
went
what
to
I'm
JP
saying
and
is,
said that Rourke wanted the all-girl alliance, not
okay,
Chrissy.
so let me ask you a question. If I come to you and say I want an all-girl alliance and there's only 2 men, which man am I going to try and get out?
JP.
Not if the other 2 are working with Ryan. You get what I'm saying? The other 2 don't have the relationship that you have with Ryan. I mean, JP.
I'm very confused at this point. I don't even know what you're saying right now.
If there's 5 people playing.
Yes.
If 3 of them are women, there are 2 guys.
yes.
If the other 2 women have a relationship with
they're getting
Ryan,
JP out.
they're getting JP out.
But Chrissy has a great relationship with JP also.
That's what
But what I'm, but that I,
It'd be up
that's,
to
I
Rourke.
really don't understand what is missing here. If 3 of the women have a
Right.
relationship with Ryan, the only other person to get out is JP, and were you okay with that?
Does
is my
Rourke have that
question.
great of a relationship
doesn't
with
have a
Ryan?
relationship
Clearly
with
not.
She
Ryan.
doesn't have a relationship with anybody, but
Which is
she
why
has
she got
more of
voted
a
out.
relationship with Allie because Allie had the conversation with her first about wanting to
Literally
work
the
with
day
her.
before or the day
But we don't
of,
know
though.
that.
All right, on this note, let us
love you so
know
much.
what you guys think. People are saying, preach, Dominique.
I will say this, the foreshadowing of this episode, because I call it out every episode, it was ridiculous. As soon as they were focused on work,
Yes.
because we've never seen anything from work
You-
before.
we
Now all of a
always say
sudden,
that, yeah.
like it was just a little, it was a little too much for me tonight.
I
got
agree.
a little frustrated with
I
work's
agree.
foreshadowing.
Quickly, before anything, let's get into predictions really quick. I do
Predictions.
also want to shout out Aaron for saying best Survivor after show so far. It wasn't anything to do with me because you guys just went at it. I'm just sitting back relaxing. And you guys, it's great having discussions like this.
I missed you.
I missed you guys. I missed our live feed.
Yeah. So for predictions, we see that Cole obviously collapses. Like anything else that you guys think will happen next week?
Well, I think that obviously we saw Ryan and Allie, and I feel like they will get their relationship back on track. Dom is going to disagree with me, of course, but I feel like as soon as Ryan apologizes and says, "Yes, I should have kept you in the loop," they will repair their relationship. I might be wrong. We'll see. Dom
She went
can
to bed
maybe
pretty
rub it in my
upset that
face.
night.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those fake repairs. I think it's going to be I need you because I don't have anyone else here right now, but when I get the opportunity to get back to some real friends, I'm done.
I think Allie, I think after next week, it'll be the merge. So we'll have next
Yeah,
week and then the
yeah.
merge. And then I think Allie can literally get in with any group she wants
I
because
agree.
she's personable.
Yep.
She's a good player. She's
She is.
strategic. I think that she'll have no problem.
But I will say my prediction is I do not see them working together in the future outside of
like once we
Ryan
get to
and
the
Allie?
merge.
once they get to the merge.
I don't think they'll go to tribal next week to make this happen. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, that's been our panel so far. Any final thoughts that you guys want to get out real quick before we say goodbye?
No, I think we got it all
I
out.
know. I'm like, I think I said everything I had to.
I think we did. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in the live chat. It's always so much fun to like hear your guys' thoughts and get comments and let us know how we're doing, of course. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube. Let us know how we're doing and how we can improve it for you guys. And I'm your host, Paige Bonanno. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paige Bonanno. And my co-host, where can they find you?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I am Timothy Michael. You can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike. I am Timothy Mike.
And love me or hate me, you know you want to follow, so go ahead and do so on all social media platforms at Domonique P_ESQ.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.